Greetings, my friends. Reformed Stoic here, back with another video. Trying yet again another camera angle. So, it's been a week for me. I'll bet you guys are going through some interesting times yourself. This video is entitled something along the lines of you likely have yet to break your conditioning, or you have yet to break the programming, or you have yet to snap out of your programming, something like that. I'll get it worked out, but you get the idea. So I thought of this last night when I was thinking about my recent resurgence of dealing with the weed issue. Just to quickly recap, I've been off of weed actually 3 different times since I moved to Vegas. I was off of it for 9 months in 2014. Eventually, I had an incident with an online test at UNLV. I freaked out and I went and bought weed to calm myself down. I would continue to smoke for a couple of years. And then near the end of 2019, I was off of weed for maybe 3, 4, 5 months. And then I started messing around with it a little bit when my dad was visiting for a while. And then that summer, I started to smoke again. So that was 2 times that I had been off of weed. For 9 months, then 6 months, and then when I start smoking again, it's just like I never quit. So now I'm about pretty close to reaching the 7 month mark. 7th month, that's what I kept trying to say. I'm pretty close to getting there, and things were pretty smooth sailing for 4 or 5 months. But I realized recently, last couple of weeks, I've just started to have these thoughts hey man, remember other times you got high for the first time in a very long time? And I have some good memories. Summer 2020, everybody was freaking out about Antifa and Black Lives Matter doing their little street activities during lockdown. And I was getting really worked up, and I was like, you know what, man, instead of getting worked up over this, let's just start smoking weed again. And I spent that summer giggling, getting high, watching TV and movies, and it was super cozy. I'm starting to have those thoughts again, my friends. And it made me think of this topic. You have yet to break your conditioning. Your actions have changed. Maybe you've quit weed. Maybe you quit drinking. Maybe you've kicked pornography, which if you have, congratulations, because I'm definitely still working on that one. Maybe you're making some changes. Maybe you are decreasing things. Maybe you're heading in the direction of moving away from bad habits. You've accepted Christ into your life, and your understanding of sin is there. And you know that things like the pursuit of fornication is useless. Your value is not measured by your ability to fornicate with strange women. What other people think of you doesn't matter. The whole popularity contest, secular, worldly competition, it doesn't matter. And you know that. And you've taken steps in that direction. And you're starving the beast. But you still haven't shattered the conditioning. It's not because you did anything wrong. And here's the kicker of this video, where I think this is the message that maybe a lot of people need to hear, the message that I need to hear. I don't know if you guys can tell, but the formula for my channel is I basically give you guys the advice that I feel like I need to hear, or I relate things from my own experiences. But basically, guys, you're knocking it out of the park. You're killing it. You're not doing anything wrong. You're doing everything right, but you have yet to completely defeat the conditioning. For me, I know that because as I've just laid out, hopefully I didn't spend too much time laying it out, I've already been off of weed a couple of different times. I've already been off of weed a couple of different times for months at a time. One time for 9 months. It was not enough, because as soon as I started smoking again, it was like I never quit. Which also reminds me of the time I deactivated Facebook. Man, I felt like I had made such a big positive difference in my life being deactivated from Facebook for a year and a half. And then I got back on, and then I'm right back to cringe posting, and right back to causing drama, and back to my old habits. So it's not enough yet. It's a good start. I'm doing the right things. But I think about how when I outlined for you guys when things first started to take a serious dark turn in my life, and don't get me wrong, I had some rough times before this, but I feel like the moment in my life when things really started to take a turn for the worst, like if I could go back in time, I could start my life from this period and really make big changes that would save me, even though I'm going to figure it out. You know, I'm going to figure it out the way things are, but it was my junior year and the summer leading up to my junior year when I started smoking weed and drinking. And I don't know if that was exactly what caused everything, but it was a part of it. It was a part of those times. And yeah, if I could do it all over again, I would never get sucked into drinking and partying and smoking weed. So when I quit weed, like for real, when it's like, okay, it's been 2 years, like it's definitely in the past. When I can quit longer than I've ever quit before and really be confident that I'm never going to turn back, I'll be able to think back to those times when those dark times in my life started and think, you finally have removed these things from your life. But enough about me and my experience. The last thing I wanted to leave you guys with in this video is that your worldliness, your brainwashing, your programming can be represented by a demon. Maybe it really is a demon. Maybe this is just a good metaphor. You could definitely see this as what the devil wants for you. The devil wants you to be wrapped up in worldliness, and you're hurting right now because you know that what people think about you doesn't matter. You know that your worth isn't decided by your ability to fornicate. But let's face it, you still want those things. You still want to win the secular popularity contest. You still want these people back in your life, even though they were no good for you. You still wish that you could be, you know, painting the town red with all the ladies of the night. You still want these things, and you're still bummed out that you don't have these things, and you're hurting. And part of the reason you're hurting is because the devil, your demon, is coming at you again, all right? Like with me, I was going strong 4 or 5 months. In that period, when I had that momentum, the demon knew he needed to give me some time. He's like, this guy's ironclad right now. I'm going to sit back, and I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for things to get hard, and I'm going to wait for him to be vulnerable, and I'm going to come back. And then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to try to suck him back in. You haven't completely finished your mission yet, you guys. You've put a lot of time into your new self. You've put a lot of work in leaving behind your bad habits, and maybe it seemed like, you know, you had that early momentum where it's like, oh man, this is so much better and I'm feeling good, and you kind of psyched yourself up. But now some time has gone by, and now you're hurting a little bit, and now you're worried, and you're like, maybe this is all just a cope. Maybe it just doesn't matter that much. Maybe I just need to start drinking again. Maybe I just need to start smoking weed again. Maybe I just need to do whatever I gotta do to impress all these girls on Tinder. And then just, you know, maybe I need to get a bunch of escorts. And you're not completely in line with what you know you need to do yet. But let me tell you, my friends, win this battle. Win this battle with this demon like I intend to do. Things are ugly right now. You're not sure if it's for real. You're being tempted once again now that you're weak. Keep going, my friends, because on the other end of this struggle is ultimately real enlightenment. The closest thing that there could possibly be to enlightenment. And don't get me wrong, you know, at the churches I've been at, there's a lot of very great young people. You know, these couples who get married at 18, right out of high school, born and raised Christian, always believed, always will believe, and they're great people. But a quote comes to mind from Christ: the last will be first, and the first will be last. And there's some disagreements on exactly what that means, but what I've always felt that it means is that There's something special about the prodigal's son. There's something special about the prodigal son. Make sure you look up the parable of the prodigal son if you're not familiar. That is the son who strayed and fell into darkness and then came crawling back. Okay? I am the prodigal son. I was into drinking, drugs, trying to fornicate, trying to win in the eyes of the world, death metal music, occultism. I strayed very far, my friends. I made a lot of mistakes, and I recently made some mistakes. And I am crawling back. I am humbled. And make no mistake about it, guys. You know, people are asking me in stream when we're talking about girls and stuff, like, fornication's a sin, right? Yes, it is. And yes, you do want to cut sin out of your life. Just to make it clear, the things that are sin, don't do it. It's not especially complex. But back to what I was saying about enlightenment. When you walk away from the world and you follow the straight and narrow path that Christ has laid out for you, and you do it for a long time, and you push through the pain, eventually your conditioning, the way that you have been wired to think and to live, it will start to crumble away, and you will experience a different kind of joy. You will experience a different kind of contentment, and I, my friends, have not found it yet. But I believe that it's there, because I went on a perennial quest. I went looking for the truth, and the things that I thought were true in the past when I was trying to become a wizard or a warlock, or I was into weird secular cult nonsense, or I guess it got to a point where it wasn't secular, some sort of dark left-hand path belief system. And before that, when I was into like astrotheology, or buying into my sign, you know, being a Pisces, or before that being an atheist, I've searched, you guys. I've searched high and low for truth. And there's nothing better than the Bible. There's nothing better than the Word of God. That's it. I know it's it. There was times when I was feeling a little bit more jolly about that. Like I said, I had that early momentum where I was speaking very confidently, and I feel like I did a lot of good work in those times. I get people telling me, it's like, hey, I just want to thank you, Stoic. Like, you helped me find Christ, and I got to thank you for that. Well, I'm just bringing that up not to brag, because I'm feeling rough right now. Feeling rough. I had a bad week this week. It was up and down. You know, yesterday wasn't so bad, but most of the week was bad. I've been having dark thoughts, and things have been low. This is a valley. Valley of the shadow of death. Walk through it. We're in the desert with God, like I said. I don't know if you guys followed me, or I don't know if you guys came along with me, but I followed God into the desert, and it's been rough, and I have faith that there's something good on the other side. So maybe starting to get a little bit shotgun blast all over the place there. Wrapping it up, guys. Keep going. The bad news, how you guys have been feeling, is that it hurts. But what this video is meant to reassure you with is that it hurts because you're winning. And the demon is making his last play. You get through this pain. I'm not saying there won't be other temptations or there won't be other low points, but this is the big one. This is the big one, guys. The demon went into the corner and waited because you were ironclad. You had that original momentum, but now you've kind of lost that. I've kind of lost that. The devil's back. He thinks he's got you. Don't give in, my friends. Keep walking the path. And I'm thinking maybe by 2024, things will start to make more sense. Buckle up for fall, winter, Smeartober, right around the corner. Let's try to stay cozy, guys. Let's try to stay cozy. I'm usually ready for winter by the time summer's over. So we're getting right through September. Before you know it, it'll be October. We'll be watching spooky movies. We'll be making lists of all our favorite horror movies. And I'm looking forward to that. God bless you, my friends. I wish the best for you. I hope this advice finds you well, and just keep going, man. Remember that other video I made. Once your life gets fixed, your faith in God will be more than ever. You'll be like, wow, I've been waiting for God to perform this miracle, and what he did was fixed my mess of a life. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I know is coming. That's what I want you to know is coming. God bless you. I wish you the best. Until next time.